Yo, what's up, y'all? Oh, once again, my system audio just like, let me there we go. Oh boy, we done did it this time. What are we gonna do? That's the wrong one. There we go. All right, time to work on some stuff. If folks want to join me, feel free to join me. For folks that don't want to join me, then you're not seeing this, so it's fine. All right, so a quick walkthrough of what we're looking at here. Ignore half of this because it doesn't need to exist anymore. I am making a chatbot. Also, let me know if the music is too loud, not loud enough. If you can't hear music, I'd rather you not hear the music than the music be too loud. So what we're doing is I have this chatbot that I run locally that basically I can ask for advice from myself based on my podcast conduit that I do. And if we look at what that looks like, we can go like, where's my mouse? There we go. Look at our sessions here. Is this the right one? This is the right one. Okay, so we do like Fast API dev, let that run. And then I'll bring a version of Arc over here. Shoot. Lovely. Localhost 8000, this pops up, and then I can do some cool like 3D printing and being productive. Why not? And that's gonna basically like do some stuff there. It's finding some individual posts that I have here, some individual quotes that we've got, and then it's gonna offer me some advice. Don't just print tchotchkes all day. Oh, I like that. Think outside the box. I love how it uses quotes. Prioritize responsible use. Boom, like that. And like that's the thing, and that's cool. The thing is I have 99 episodes of Conduit, and I have like several years worth of stuff outside of Conduit. So I've got like 4 years of Conduit. I've got years and years of stuff outside of Conduit. So the argument here is that I could do some basic, like just load everything into here, but it's no longer a part of that. I also think that there are some different weights and balances that I want to put on different types of content. There's also some weird prompting things that I need to figure out. But for what we're doing right now, I don't really need any of that. So what we're hoping to do is we're hoping to create come on, man, get out of here. We're hoping to create a version of this that works with these. My blog, my microblog, YouTube, conference talks, and Conduit. So it's gonna still do the Conduit thing, but it's gonna like expand that beyond and do all of these things. And then we want to start playing around with like what we can do next with that, as well as some basic filtering. And that's where it gets fun, because what I need to do is I want to integrate things like JSON tables into this. So with that being said, I guess I can dive in. Also, let me know what you're up to as well. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty silent. I'll be chatting for those that are chatting with me, but for the most part, I'll be just kind of heads down on this as I'm trying to get this done and focus on it. I hate it when linears do this. I don't need. Yeah, it's fine. Source is going to be a dictionary, and that's like string string, X string any. Text splitter is that. It's that. And then we're going to do docs equal. You don't need to do embeddings. Yep. We're gonna do embeddings dot embed documents, and then that's gonna be the result of text splitter, create documents, split text right there. Okay. And then we're gonna take that split text. I mean, and again, like a lot of this I'm cheating because I've done this before. I have over here like can't say I'm cheating. I've done it before. If we do is it MPG addressed? It is. Yeah. So like that's all the default stuff. Don't care about that. Yeah, all that metadata stuff. It doesn't matter in this instance because we changed how that looks. They did create documents and then they do embed documents for each document, which is interesting. I wonder why I did that. This is like one of those things where like something changes and you're like, okay, did I set that for a reason? I did create text there. Here I could just do split text. What are we doing here? Metadata, content. Okay, so that's just grabbing the content. Oh, I probably do want meta though. So we want source, content, and we want meta. Right? Content is a string. Meta is a dict, same dict string any. Yeah, here we want chunk size. Okay. And that's giving me the opposite there. It's giving me the updated chunk size. And then I really don't care about chunk overlap splitters or any of those things. Those are fine. Those can stay down. This is why I was confused. If I do split text here, I could just do split text and then content. Boom. And then that's going to be docs. And we're good. And embed documents gives me a list of docs, right? It's a list. Did I read that correctly? With a list of strings, you get a list of floats. So then I could just pass that list of those vectors directly in. Yeah, I guess. So list of strings. List of strings is that document. So we could just say docs. And then from there we've got, hold on. That's what I thought. I thought my camera was wrong. Hold on. Wow, that camera's like way wrong. Boom, there we go. Shoot, there we go. Let's move this back over here. All right. That embed docs happens. Shoot. Yep, so we got that. Embedding model, embed documents. Same thing. We did the same thing there. For text, embedding in zip. So we zip it. Text and embeddings. That's fair. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we just do like all of this. None of this stuff is session add, session commit. Okay, so that's just because we're doing, and that we're actually doing a section because we're using SQL Alchemy. Here we're not using SQL Alchemy. We're getting a little bit closer with psycopg. The reason I don't have like a beautiful reason for that, other than I already have like my models and stuff set up, so I don't really need to have much control over the model. The model's not going to change. It's not that complicated. Because we're trying to do like this whole vector object here. Like we don't need that. So we're going to get rid of this part. And we're going to say doc is... Oh, wait. So we could take, knowing what we know. So we've got text as content. We've got embeddings as, so we got text, embeddings. And then we just need meta. And meta isn't even meta. What is our... Hold on, let me close this window. Exit, and then... content source, we need content item. There we go. No, content item is the bare bones basic. We need something different. It's embed. Quote embeddings. There we go. So we need content item ID, the content snippet, and the embedding. Text and embedding are the snippet and the embedding. We need the ID, the content item ID, sorry. Cool. So we don't need meta at all. But we need content item ID, and that's an integer. We got create content item. We're going to commit that. Oh. So this is where we actually need to get the ID. All right. Okay, so insert new record. Using the returning clause. Okay, so just returning the ID. Cool. Then there's like the whole general question of, so then we want to do returning No, returning. Yeah, ID. There we go. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have to do anything goofy outside of that. Cool. And then we don't do fetch one immediately. So then we say record equals. Oh yeah, I did do that in there. So I could just do cursor execute. And here we don't actually have to do this. We can do with DB connection cursor. And then you need to figure out the factory, yeah. The only thing I'm worried about here is like, can I just set the... Yeah, see, I was wondering if there's like a row factory there, but there's really not. All right, so we don't have to do the actual thing here. Instead, we're gonna start using cursors with. Yeah, I was gonna say, wait a minute, why are we not doing the thing? Yeah, with con cursor, right? And then you need, that's where you need your row factory. Row factory equals psycopg rows dict factory. Dict row. That doesn't seem right. By the way, if I'm looking over there, one, I'm either looking at chat or I'm looking at like something like Claude. I hate not just calling it cursor. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a bunch of stuff to clean this up. Did I do? Okay, yeah, I did just do import psycopg, which is dope. Don't care about that. Don't care about that anymore. We're gonna use typer in a second, so I'm not worried about that. DB connection is correct. I should probably not do that and do it the right way. Okay, with DB connection, doing things. Yep, that's right. And then you can do cursor execute. I hate they call it execute. Why is it not just exec? Like, yeah, because then you can just do record equals cursor fetch one. Yo, what's happening next week? Jess, how are you? Next week I'm gonna be in Chicago like all week, and I'm going to be at 2 different Postgres events, and I'm speaking at one. And the one that I'm speaking at, I'm speaking about this, which I'm not going to say that it was like conference-driven development. I don't want to say it was conference-driven development. However, here we are. I genuinely thought that I was going to be able to... Basically, I was taking an idea that I had and then an idea that I knew about, and I was like, ooh, I could expand the idea that I had to do this other thing. And I just haven't had any time in the world to actually work on the like proof of concept for the thing. So now I'm just developing the proof of concept on it. But the hope is that with the help of JSON tables, which is a new feature in Postgres 17, so best like last November, I can take my original idea and I can increase like the spread of it from just my podcasts to all of my content, and then still query against things that are similar to get more information. And that's kind of the start of that is like, I got to get all of my content into my database. From there, it's going to be load up a bunch of records, create a JSON table of those records, and then have maybe some AI agent or whatever like act on the JSON table. That's kind of the goal. That's kind of where my brain is moving at. But before I can do that, I gotta add some stuff here. And also, yeah, I gotta figure out why everything is yelling at me at the moment. Cannot access attribute. Oh yeah, well duh, because I didn't. Would help if I actually made a connection. DB connection is equal to psycopg connect. Boom. Boom. Yeah, I did. Okay, that's what I thought. There was a row factory here that I could just do. Row factory equals dict row. Yeah. Argument type string or none can't be assigned to parameter connection if... Oh, get out of here. You're fine. It's just yelling at me because it's saying, what if you don't have that? Like, it smells like conference-driven development, though. Well, I mean, I'm in the process of hopefully getting promoted and like leading a team and doing a bunch of stuff, and a lot of that was not happening before this talk got accepted. So I was like, you know, here we are. Yeah, definitely some conference driven development, but what I will say is at the time of like putting in the CFP, I was literally working on the blog post for this thing, for this idea. And like that blog post still hasn't gone out because I still haven't had the time to finish it. So it was like the hope was that like, okay, I was going to have this out. I was going to have this proof of concept. I was going to have this built. And then like, if my talk got accepted, then life is easy. I can just talk to those things. And all those things hit kind of all at once. So now I'm just like, well, I don't have time for all of that, but I still have the commitment that is this. So I'm going to get it done. And a lot of this is also just like, I haven't played around with a lot of Postgres. And it is something that I am genuinely interested in. Like there's a part of me that is really wanting to get into this. Ooh, Auth0 live stream. That sounds fun. Arguments missing for parameter cursor. What? And the thing that's frustrating me here is because I'm using Python because Python's what I know. Python's what I'm comfortable with. But I would really like to have used just like more and more Postgres in this. Mainly because one, I'm speaking at a Postgres conference. But two, I want there to be like this balance of, hey, we can be friends, you know, we can get along. Oh, what? Yeah, the block folks are doing great stuff. They're just like, they're all on it. It's just wild how busy they are. They keep everybody. Okay. Yeah, so I think we're like doing this. That's what I need to be chatting with, is I need to chat with the blog folks myself, but too lazy for that. I can't keep up with them. They got too much going on. Psycopg, factory, dictor. Oh, okay, don't call it. That's what it is. So this is just an attribute. It's not a method. That whole thing is just dumb, but they'll live on that. Yep. Okay, with cursor, then you do cursor execute, then you can do your new record, print, do in the commit. Yeah, we're gonna commit, then we're gonna return the record ID. Same thing down here. Like, this is the thing that I like, is that like now that I'm starting to learn more about the actual queries, I feel a little bit more at ease as soon as I start typing stuff correctly. Cursor execute. String can't be assigned to query is what I'm betting that's saying, right? Yeah. And in fact, it actually can, and in fact, it's supposed to be. So I'm not too worried about that. Oh, am I supposed to? Did I do that backwards? Hold on, let me see. Insert values. Returning R. Yeah, I did that backwards. Okay, so oh no, I didn't. No, I didn't. If I was going to do the path, I would. If I was going to do the values after the fact, then I was, but I don't think it's. Maybe it is. Let's just do this. We'll do. I hope that's right. Since that's supposed to be a JSON B, but that's fine. Insert into content item, source ID and meta values, blah, 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 returning ID, boom. And then do that, we do that. I think that's right. And yeah, it's just saying, clean up our Python code a little bit, and then we need to basically do the same thing up here. So I have, if we got a few folks in here watching, I have a wonderful question for y'all. I'm gonna guess that most people watching are using ORMs more than anything. They're using ORMs. when do you reach for just straight up SQL? Like, when do you go, all right, that's enough of the ORM stuff. Let's get into it, you know? I'm wondering. I would love folks' opinion on that. When are you saying, you know what, we're done with that. We're done with the ORM. We're going hard SQL. So I bet some would say just never, like never doing that. You can't make me. SQL's scary. ORMs are life. Like, and I don't think that's a bad answer. I mean, I think the scariness of it, it's like when my child says I'm afraid of this thing, it's probably because she's never interfaced with it before. But I was just looking at like creating my records and stuff and just straight up SQL and just passing them in. Like, that was lovely compared to all of the, like, I got to build this class and I got to give this class all these things and let them talk to the. I was like, I just need to write like 7 lines of SQL code and I'm done. Okay, so Dave is saying only when you find a performance issue with a complex join. Some exciting queries along the way. See, that's the thing. And like, I'm not here to knock ORMs at all. Like, I'm telling you straight up, like, I used an ORM over here, SQL Alchemy. We did the thing. We did the ORM thing. Like, yes. Me not doing the ORM here is purely because I was like, wait a minute. I've got some cool connection stuff going on, and I want to know what the SQL queries are so that when I go to a general like Postgres conference and someone says, you did the thing on this thing, why didn't you do it on that thing instead? I don't go, I don't know, ORM told me. And I know that most ORMs nowadays are pretty smart, that they optimize which particular things you write on. Like, if you put things in the wrong order, they'll be like, nah, the right order is this, I got you. Which is kind of cool. But I do think that there's a love of like, I want to know what's happening on the back end so that I can just run these queries, because that's how I was working with this before. Was I was just going into like PGCLI and just typing in a query and being like, what happened? So that's where I'm kind of at now. Okay, so we've created our content item. Here we need to actually return the item. Here we don't need to do a commit because we're not committing anything. Here we need to do a commit. We're gonna just copy those. That's accurate. Boom. Let's get that. That's within here. Cursor fetch one. Yeah, when you start with SQL, like, there are so many programs now that I use that if I had a better knowledge of, like, I know some SQL, but if I had a better knowledge of SQL, like being able to go into Salesforce and writing like actual query language and getting stuff, being able to go into like our analytics tools and write actual like query language, like that stuff is great. And I think that's the part that people just sleep on completely. It's just like, people are just like, I'm not trying to do any of that. And I'm just like, come on, you gotta wanna like get a little down the road with it. It just makes you better. And like, now, I'm not making you better, like better than other people, but like me going into a management position now, I'm going to be spending way more time in Salesforce and like analytics tools than I am in writing Python code. So all of the ORM knowledge does not help me unless there is like an SDK that I can use to work with that. So at this point, I'm better off just writing straight up SQL so that I can build and flex that SQL muscle. Okay, so we got a return there. That's all good. Return the record ID. That's the content item. Returns int. Does this return int? This returns int. Boom, 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 boom. That's great. I love it. So now, when we generate our embeddings, we don't need this. We just need content item ID. Boom, perfect. And then we're gonna say we don't need the embeddings there. We're gonna say for text items embeddings. We're gonna do an add. And this is one of the things. This is why I thought about using this in actual SQL, because I wouldn't know how to write this in the ORM, because here I do like add, like do the thing then commit it, do the thing then commit it. Like here, what I'm gonna do is, you learned SQL before you learned ORM. Though before you learned ORMs were a thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure I did too. I think everyone does, but it's just like, you start out, especially when you're super green, like SQL is scary. Like someone wants to tell me that when they first learned SQL, they weren't intimidated by it. Like, good on you, because I was terrified. I was like, I could just delete all the databases right now and break a bunch of stuff. And that was actually, it's funny enough, like historically, I'm a lot of people know me in the Django community, and I tell people that I'm like a fake Django person, because originally when people were telling me to pick up Django, I was so afraid. I was like, oh, ORMs, like that makes the SQL easy. It feels like it's cheating. And like there is some magic to that, but I was just like I was like, nah, I need to learn this, otherwise I can't. So I picked up Flask, and then I just picked up an ORM anyway. So like, yeah, I could have just went to Django, but you weren't intimidated, but you think it was because you didn't understand it at all. Yeah, I guess it's hard to be afraid of something if you don't know what it is. I'm trying to think, if my brain is like stuck on this. I don't think I have to do this. I think I want this part. And then I want to write, so with DB connection, cursor, as cursor, yep, boom, we're going to do that. And then we're going to do cursor execute. And see, they have like an execute mini there too, which I was like, I could do it that way, or I could just do it all as one. And then in that execute, we want this, boom, boom, boom. And we want insert into, and this is going to be quote embeddings. And then we want, for quote embeddings, we want content. Let's go content item ID, content snippet, and embedding. Values. Oh. What just happened? They're like, oh, I'm over here undoing stuff. Get out of here. Okay, insert into that. Values. Let's put values on that first line. Because then so we say, ooh. We're gonna take this out of the F string. Put this above here. Boom. Okay, so we're gonna say this is for that. Let's just do doc, or not docs, but entries equals, boom, we'll do that, and we'll do content ID. Okay, so content ID never changes, so that's cool. Content item ID, boom, text, and I think we just put those on new lines. Yeah. And then embedding for text embedding in zip text embeddings. Boom, like that. And then we want to do that, right? To wrap it up. What do you see with? Found with. Oh, it would help if I actually finished. Yeah, closing that up right there. Boom. Should also call these right. Those are docs. Okay, so it's assigned, but it wasn't used. Oh, and these are embed docs. So okay. And then here we do our insert. And our insert is going to be new line. Comma new line. Join. Entries. Boom. Like that. I think that's it. And then yeah, it's gonna yell at me because it can't be a query. I really hate that, and I wish I could tell it not to do that. All right, so we got that. So yeah, I'll post it back out to the community. Like, are you team ORM? Is there anybody that's team not ORM here? Like team, like I'm not gonna reach for the ORM first. I'm just interested. So I'm guessing a lot of people will go, why would you, why would you say that? ORM or cursor commit. It's not cursor commit. What am I doing? It's DB connection commit. Okay. I think that's it. And we just don't return anything. We're like returning none on that. All right, so we get rid of this. We don't need this post items thing anymore. We just have this function that is like create item. We sources, load content. Okay, so we create item, we load content, and then that's it. Oh wait, no, create item just does everything now. Dope. All right, so source gets source content. We don't have to load the content anymore because everything is static. Data we don't care about. I'm guessing we're probably going to stick with saying we are going to use front matter with this. So import front matter. We don't have front matter installed. So let's go and fix that. Z multi. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, install front matter. We don't care about that anymore. We don't care about that anymore. We do care about those. We don't care about that anymore. Save that. Oh, probably do something with that. Okay, cool. All right. So let's clean this up a little bit. We got that. We need to do app equals typer. That's cool. Create item is going to be app command. And then create item. We don't care about body anymore. We want a file path. And we want a source type, right? Cool. So if we're gonna do that, file path is pathlib path. I'm trying to remember how you do options, how you do choice in here. This typer, let's go here. Oh, see, because yeah, they have enums in here as choices. To define a CLI parameter, you can take a value from a predefined set of values and use a standard enum. That's what I was thinking before, and that's what I had originally. So when we go, where's my select all from content source there? I'm just going to hard code these in. I'm going to class sources equal, and that's enum source, and our options are 1 conduit, 2 blog, 3. Again, I could just do a search for these, but if I hard code them in, because there's only 5, then that's one less query that I got to do against the database, which is just, and I can enforce that at the user level. Oh wait, no, I still have to do the query because I have to get the chunk size, so that doesn't matter. Conference talk. I need to update that. Update content source set name equals talk where ID equals 5. Oh yeah, I should probably actually do it the right way. Boom. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So we got all that. I can't remember the command, but it's like, I wish you could do like add around word this thing. I know that you can, I just can't remember what it is. And I'm too lazy. Did I do this backwards? I feel like I did this backwards. Okay, that's fine. I probably don't want to include just writing numbers, so we want to do like conduit like that. Oh, you can't. Okay, so that's fine. Whoa. Blog, microblog. It's funny because like YouTube and conference talk are technically the same thing, but so now that we have that source record there, get content source, we're gonna have a string, but the string is gonna be based on that choice. So source is equal to source, right? Okay, yeah, is a neural network. Neural network dot, and by default neural network dot simple. Cool. Yeah, so you just do that. Cool. So we're gonna get content source from source. We're going to. Why are we not liking? What? Why are we not liking that? Argument of type source cannot be assigned to parameter source of type string and function. Source is not assignable to string and is not assignable to declared type source. What? What the Russell Wilson? What? I mean, I guess we just source there. Does that fix that? Type in. Yeah. I should probably also not call them source. So let's call this source ID. Clean this up a little bit. Source ID. Get content source. That's cool. That returns an int. Source ID. Yep. So we don't have to create embeddings anymore. We just do generate embeddings. That's it. Is that it? That can't be it. Here we need content item ID. We don't actually need more than that. We just need source ID, meta, and data. We do need the content though. Content here. So we're gonna say content is equal to file path, read text. That ain't even it, because that's the front matter. We got to do that before we even get down to metadata. Boom. So we need like, this is a post. It's gonna be front matter. In there loads. I know you lying. Hold on. Let me exit this and reopen it. What's a JBot? You're talking to a JBot now. I'm kidding. A JBot is based off of this other project that I created, where I mean your general rag pattern type stuff. Start that up again. So a JBot Ethan currently, when this loads, what are we doing here? There we go. Is inspired off of this. It's a little site that I made simply that's like cool. I want to learn more about live streaming. Like, if I gave myself advice, Superconductor, or Conduit technically, is a podcast that I run with my friend Kathy Campbell. I could search and find quotes from my podcast about live streaming, and we just kind of go with it. And we get results, but I could also, let's see, being consistent about streaming. Why not? Let's ask our AI coach there. And it's going to take some of those same results, and it's going to generate kind of an action plan for me. And the reason that I fuzz it out is because it doesn't format it while it's building. So like, so then we have like, okay, here you go. Like, if you want consistency in streaming, keep it relaxed. Let's just have it fun. Keep it relaxed from Kathy. Don't stress too much about technical issues. Enjoying yourself and engaging with your audience and preparing ahead of time. All that stuff. Okay, cool. So like, why do I need Postgres? That's an interesting point. So I actually have all of these stored in Postgres right now, and I have all the transcripts stored in there and things like that. So that was why I originally needed Postgres. What I was doing was I was using Postgres with OpenSearch, and that's what this was. Now it's all Postgres. It's Postgres. It's PG Vector, which is what's storing these quotes for vector search. When I did that, it gave me kind of an idea of what if I took not just this podcast, but if I took everything that I've written on my blog, all these posts. Oh, that's just page 1. Hold on. Yeah. I forgot what my all pages are, but oh well. There we go. Yeah, it's like if I take like every single blog post I've ever written, go dating all the way back to 2019, and then go from there. I take all of my content from my microblog from 2018. I take all of my conference talks. No. And that's the point, is I am only, like, the talk title that I have is getting advice from myself using RAG. So specifically in this instance, I'm only using content that I own and that I created. So with the caveat that I do a podcast with other people, so from time to time that it'll have other people's thoughts in there, but I was still a part of it. And this is one of those things that you see where like people will use like Obsidian, and then you can basically feed your Obsidian documents, do vector search, and then feed that into a chat bot and all that good stuff. But this was like me building it from my content as the source where it already exists, and then going from it. There were plans originally when I started this stream actually to use a tool called EchoFeed. If you don't know about EchoFeed is great. I am not great on social media, so 99% of the content you will see me posting on social media other than LinkedIn is me posting from my RSS feed from my blog and stuff, and then EchoFeed actually publishes it for me. Same thing about podcasting and stuff. Do I do anything with SQL? I mean, that's kind of the idea with this is... Yes. Let me stop this actually, I'm not. I can just leave it running. That's fine. Here, like, this is Postgres. I'm in Postgres right here. Even though I'm using Python, I'm just using psycopg directly. No specific reason why. Isn't PostgreSQL? Yes, Postgres is SQL. Yes. If you want to learn more about why Postgres is SQL, we don't have it. It's not out yet. Never mind. Spoilers. Follow me on social media when I will share something that my colleague has written that will be published about like the differences in different types of SQL, and especially around Postgres. Dev Google Gemini has a custom AI maker. How is this different? It's not Dev Google Gemini. That's the difference. I've never actually heard of Dev Google Gemini. And I should also say that like I'm also doing this kind of in the vamp of I'm giving a talk about this next week at PG Day Chicago, Postgres Day Chicago. Yeah, it's Google's developer API. It uses the Gemini Flash 2.0 model. So eventually I would need to get an API key to do this, and I would need to pay for it. Where everything I'm doing can technically run on my machine locally and be free. Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to close that window. Oh, well, it's fine. I mean, that's the biggest difference is that I'm hosting everything on my local machine versus having someone else manage it. My dog's going to start barking in a second. Hey, sit down. No need to bark. You're behind a giant glass window. Whatever that squirrel is can't hurt you. It's free. I mean, cool. It's free. It's also not this, which is, it's fine. There's also this thought too of being able to expand further on this in the future using something called Postgres tables, which if I get a bunch of results and a bunch of quotes, I can then say, give me information about the context of all those quotes, even though they're coming from different areas. And then now I want you to, what's the word? I want you to infer like more information. So a good example of this is if I pull up all those quotes and I go, when was I thinking really hard about this? Currently, I can't do that. But if I take everything that I had, I take the metadata from that document and then I put it in with that content, I can write an AI agent that goes, oh, okay, well, I can look at the metadata and see the timestamps and go, you were thinking about this around this time. So that's, again, it's kind of just letting me be able to explore my own data kind of in a way that I wasn't thinking about it initially or originally. So yeah, back to it. DB connection cursor execute, DB connection commit. That's all correct here. We just generate the embeddings. Oh yeah, this is what we were talking about. Load. It does not like loads. It's a brain. I do like the it's a brain. We're just thinking. Why can't I think right now? Come on, content. What? Oh, yeah, it would help if I hit the right button. Loads is not an attribute of front matter. Yeah. Load, that's what it is. Or a file-like object. Okay. I hate that they give you like a few like those options like that. Yeah, it's just import front matter. That's what I thought. I'm doing read text. I don't have to do read text here. I just do file path from matter load like that. This is going to give me a post object, so we'll just call that post. And that's a front matter post object like that. And then we want metadata. Meta content is equal to, I'm trying to remember, does it give me, is there a specific metadata? Use metadata. Metadata gets proxied as post keys. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought you could do post.metadata. Metadata is a dictionary with some handy proxies. That's what I thought. Post.metadata. And then we're going to have post.content. Like that. Boom. And then metadata is, or meta is just meta. And then content is content. go content item. This is content item ID because all it does is return the content item ID. Why are you yelling at me about source ID? You do a lot of work with data. At one point, you think you can show how you use Python to clean up a massive database. You don't work with SQL or Python a lot yet, but we'll need to. I mean, I probably could in the future, but cleaning up a massive massive database. When you say a massive database, like what does that mean? Like you've got like terabytes and terabytes of data, and you just need to like optimize it? Because no, I personally can't tell you how to do that. That's just kind of outside the scope of what I do in my day to day. What I will say, shameless plug, because I'm on the clock. Hi, I work for a company called Ivan that does a bunch of database stuff, including a couple of things with optimizing SQL. Now, that doesn't necessarily do what you wanted it to do. Like 300,000 lines with misspellings. Ugh. That sounds oh, no. I logged into the wrong thing. Oh, yeah, that's because I'm in the wrong thing here. Chrome. Gonna bring that over here. Look at my overview. 300,000 lines with misspellings is rough. I will say Ivan gives you some AI insights and things for you to measure performance around your data. But again, not saying that's not doing what you wanted to do. So I'm sorry, but thank you to Ivan for sponsoring this live stream in the form of my paycheck. Public databases from CopsRail. Okay, so yes, that I do know. That's because most of them are actually just from spreadsheets. So when you take a spreadsheet and you just have people randomly populating it when at their will, like, yeah, you're going to get a bunch of mistakes and it's going to be nasty. I know that because I've given a talk about analyzing police data before. And I also found a bunch of future crime being like records where people were lazy and didn't put the years in and they just put the like date. So imagine December 31st, you pull somebody over because they've been drinking and driving, that does happen. And then all of a sudden you put it in your spreadsheet as December 31st, ignoring the year, but you're off, you don't put that in until January 1st. If you put December 31st of, and that's it, and it happened on if it happened December 31st of 2024 and you put it in on January 1st of 2025, if you don't place the year, it will populate the years December 31st, 2025, which is just wild that people do that. They don't go back and check. And even after you send countless emails saying, hey, your data is wrong, because you cannot have records of people committing crimes from the future. What do you do? What do you do in that point? You just chalk it up as a margin of error and you keep it moving. Okay, so I don't know why it's freaking out on this load thing. Like, that's fine. Content ID, this source ID, why is it yelling at me about source ID? Generate embeddings. We want source ID, and this is content. Content is a string, yeah. And then content item ID. Oh, because I said source ID is a dictionary. That is. Ooh. Oh, so I gotta fetch the whole thing. When I get content source, I can't just select ID. Let's select ID and chunk size, because that's really all I care about. And then we're just gonna return record. And that's going to return it as a dictionary because we have the dict thing. I don't think I need this global anymore, right? If we're doing cursor stuff, we've already connected. Okay, so it was data ported directly from the laptops in their cars because geodata with X and Y. Oh, geodata with X and Y. Instead of like latitude and longitude or longitude and latitude, just X and Y. All right. We said this was an int. This is no longer an int. This is now a dictionary. And that dictionary is string and any. I'm being lazy and saying any because all of the above. So wait, what if like GPS isn't working? Does it just send you to Null Island? Just like 0, 0? Record source ID. For content item, we can use an int. We can still use the source ID. We just need to remind ourselves that we're using the source ID, and here we're using the whole source, which is fine. Oh, and I called this source, not source ID. Boom, like that. So we go down into here. We've got source ID. This isn't source ID. Source, get content source, right? Meta content, post content, content item ID. Here we have source ID. This is just source ID, like that. And then here is not source ID anymore. It's just source. Or did I do that backwards? Get content source. That's right. Get content item, source ID, generate embeddings, source. Because we need source chunk size. Honestly, we don't even need source chunk size. We just need, or we don't need source. We just need chunk size. So let's just do that. Chunk size, also an integer again. And we can default that actually. No, let's not default it. We've got it in there. Let's just do that. This is like the goofiness of doing any type of Python stuff is like I develop myself around in circles often, and it's annoying. All right, so generate embeddings. We just need chunk size. So we're gonna say chunk size, and this is gonna be source chunk size, like that. All right, so we've got a lot of things yelling at us. Type dict is not. What are you telling me? Type dict is not assignable to declared type source. Oh, it's, yeah, because source is a thing. I keep forgetting that I called this a source. Let's load this back up. I said from content source where source is equal to this. This is actually where name is equal to that. Is equal to source. Why did I all caps these? I'm like hurting myself in doing this. And it's not even like ORM versus other thing. Like I would have screwed this up as an ORM as well. Okay. ID where name is equal to source. Yeah. Cursor fetch one. That's good. We get that record. That source is correct there. Just to make things a little cleaner. Source record. Yeah, it's just getting mad because I'm reusing variables. Yeah, see, that cleaned that up pretty well. All right, do we try running this? I think we try running this now. All right, so let's make sure we have nothing in here. So select star from content item. Nothing in there. From quote embeddings. Nothing in there either. And then we want to run Python API. I'm going to rename it in a second. Okay, this is what I was, yeah, this is what I was hoping to find. Just get. What are you talking about? Laying chain hugging faces is wilding right now. Let's. Yeah, from lane chain hugging face import things. Cool. Yeah? Is that not what we did? Lane chain hugging face? Yeah, that's what we did. I mean, it's right there. I see it right there. Like Chingy said, I like the way you do it right there. Okay, there we go. PsycopG connect, connection info. Okay, so that's using the wrong one. That's fine. I know the fix for that. Why did I put a what? Well, now I gotta change passwords and stuff. That's annoying. That like it just vomits out my character string. But I need to see what the problem is. Invalid connection option. Okay, so I'm using the wrong one still. I'll fix that later. Okay, I got that. That shouldn't happen like that. I mean, in reality of things, that shouldn't happen like that. But okay, so what are we missing here? Oh, duh. Oh, you don't do that. You just do app, right? Yeah, it should yell at me. Say you don't have a file path. That's fine. We like that. That's what we want. So now, this is what I was saying here. This is great. This is great right here. We like this. I'm wondering something now. Like, did I do this backwards with typer? When I did enums choices. Dot simple. No, I did it right. Okay, so let's go back in here. Okay, that's right. Yeah, I don't know why that's different. Okay, cool. So now let's take a doc and say trying to think of what I need to do here. I need to go to my blog. So, and then I need to copy the file path. So let's LSA, not LSA. Where's my absolute? I know that there's an absolute path here. Dash absolute. Okay, cool. So ls dash absolute, and then we do content. Let's just do like microblog, why not? And let's just do a random one. Visa frustration. Let's do that. We're gonna go icons never. Cool. And then we're gonna put that in, if I could spell, our clipboard. So now we can run this. Boom, boom. Paste that. It's still yelling, which is fine. And we need to tell it what it is. And we're gonna say microblog. Okay, missing from clause entry for table source. Undefined table. From content source where, oh jeez. Okay. What are you talking about? Select ID chunk size from content source. Like I can literally type that in here. If I do select ID chunk size from content source where name equals log. So what is it getting on about? I don't understand the problem. Select ID chunk size from content source where name equals blog. That does the thing. That is the thing. Like, I mean, I guess we could just log it to death. Like, logging, warning, fetching, ID, chunk size, and then we want Let's make sure we actually get that far. Would help if I define logging, right? Okay, where do we get? Yeah, okay, so we got to the fetching. Yo, my brain, what? That makes no sense. Give me more error here. It doesn't. I don't understand. Missing from clause entry for table source. What? Let's just do this. They really want you to do that, like SQL query to use parameter S instead of the F string. That's fair. That's fair. So it's just something to do with the F strings. They're just like, nah, dog, we don't mess with that. But it didn't work. Okay, so I mean, we're probably gonna have to do that in a couple spots, but it is what it is. So we don't wear like that. And then below that we have the value, right? Yeah, so we just say source. We don't have to uppercase these, but it's nice to know where you're doing. Okay. Object of type source has no length. I mean, that doesn't do anything different. It's not going to change anything. You're still going to get the same error, yeah? Source has no type length. Do we just say source value instead then? And then pass in the string? Okay, we got through it. Well, we got further through it. Vars microblog. Query parameters should be a sequence or a mapping. What? See, now if someone said this is why they use ORMs, I would be like, valid. Should be a sequence or a mapping got string. A SQL tuple for positional parameters using. Yeah. Did we not do that? Did we not do that? Oh, yeah. No, I don't like this. Or name equals that. Name equals that. So. Okay. It wants it to be a tuple like that. I figured if I just put a single item in there, that solves. Okay, cool. Front matter has no attribute load. That's a lie. We can do this. It does have loads. Oh, no. You're telling me like front matter dot front matter. What are we doing here? Oh, wait. Go back. Front matter is what? Hold on. Hold up. Oh boy. Okay. Import front matter load. Okay, hold on. If I know, did I do something dumb like, hold on, pip. Is it Python front? It's Python front matter. Okay. Yep. Name spacing. Naming things is hard. That's valid. All right, so this should work now. Okay. Okay, so we're into the insert. Okay. So we just gotta do the same thing here. Instead of the F string, we need to just do the value interpolation. Mm-hmm. Do that. Fetching chunk size, source meta. Content item ID. Oh, what am I doing? Duh. Yeah. Again, I'm wanting it to break further and further down the road. Cannot adapt type dict to placeholder string. That was the question that I had. Okay, so what if a placeholder is for a JSON B? What? Okay, so if you pass dictionaries or lists directly as parameters, then they get converted into JSON. The parameter still needs to be in a tuple, even if it's a dictionary. You use the standard /s placeholder, no special placeholder in JSON exists. I mean, you say that. Meanwhile, I just got yelled at about it. So like, I don't believe you. I mean, I just straight up don't believe you. You're telling me you cannot adapt type dict using placeholder s format auto. Like, it's this type of crap right here. What am I doing? Okay, let's run it back. I am ingesting all of my static sites, podcasts, YouTube video transcripts, so forth and so forth into Postgres to query it with PG vector and then get further analysis using Postgres tables or JSON tables. There we go. That's what I'm doing. That's probably like that's the technical form of it. Basically, I'm taking all of the content that I've ever created. Well, not ever created, but all the content that I have a record of creating, putting it in a database, and then allowing myself to query against it to get insights. The idea is I'm getting advice from myself. I'm giving advice to myself from myself. And now I'm just looking at what this thing is telling me. I see, yeah, it just says, oh, so it's saying that you got to cast the type onto it. Okay, so it's saying here. Can I just use an AI for that? So that's the interesting thing is, yes, I can. In fact, I already did. So if I want to say being this, I'm just using AI to read. It reads these quotes and then it generates like actionable advice. So yeah, those whole things. That whole stuff. So yeah, you're right. You can use AI for that, and I do. But the difference is that example only uses one subset. It was coded for one subset of just podcast things. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I've just done a lot over the 10 years that I've been doing things. And I often forget about things that I've done. Taking transcripts from a podcast is fine. That's cool and stuff. But there are like technical things that I could be pulling as well. Also, the fact that I know that I can do this gives me the ability and the desire to write more. And then there's also the third bit of this is that I have a talk coming up next week in which I talk about doing this. So I kind of need to do it. I feel bad because I've been thinking about this a lot and I just have not had time to actually execute on it. So for the next few days, I'm executing on it and taking the lessons learned. So this content item here, it was here, taking the meta, and they're saying with that you got to do JSON B. Is that what it said? Yep. Okay, cool. When it's auto formatted is what it was saying, right? I mean, I hear you though. Did I put it in backwards? That's the only thing I can think of. No, I didn't put it in backwards. Source ID and meta. Returning ID. Yeah. Source ID and meta. Yeah. I don't. What's this going on about? This is annoying because what it's saying is if that's a dictionary, I need to do JSON dumps. Convert the Python dictionary to a JSON string. I mean, that probably does work. So boom, we take meta equals JSON dumps meta. Object of datetime is not JSON serializable. Okay, well, yeah, you did tell me that. You gave me like some weird like datetime encoder. You did do that. And then you created a datetime encoder right there. That's interesting. Like, And then we say if, oh yeah, you got like def default self object you just return it in. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Daytime is not defined. That's easy fix. Okay. Help if I could spell. Okay. Got a larger chunk overlap than chunk size. Should be small. Oh. Okay. That's good. We're learning something new now. Okay, so because we passed in and we got 0, we can't make a chunk size of that. So we'll have to do, we'll say 20 if 20 larger than chunk size. Oh shoot, that's right, because if the chunk size is 0, that's my fault. Okay, so if chunk size then you do this. There you go. Hold on, what is it yelling about? Why are we yelling? Unexpected indentation. What do you mean unexpected? It's literally an if-else statement. Like, what? Expected expression? Unexpected text splitters, possibly. I know. Get out of here. Unindent doesn't match any other indentation level. Oh, yeah. Yep, I was wrong. Cannot access local variable embeddings where it is not associated with a value. Yeah, you need to be up here. Okay, so I need to also check here because we should have, yeah, see we have all this content in here now. Okay, so let's delete from content item where I'm close to 1,000 subs. I mean, kind of, sort of, not really, but I'm like 100 off. Or pretty sure I'm like 100 off. I don't think about it all that much, honestly. Like, I don't get to spend a lot of time making content for YouTube anymore. Like with my job, that might come back, but then also like I break every rule in the world of YouTube. It's basically like, hey, you should only talk about one thing, and I'm like, no, I talk about whatever I want to talk about. Oh, you should only make videos that are 8 minutes long. I literally just released a 2-hour workshop on Terraform. Like I'm not ever. I have no desire to be a content creator. Them jokers are. Yeah, of course. I just have no desire to be a content creator. Like I put myself on YouTube more for posterity. I live stream like this because if I have a camera staring at me, it means that I have to do the work. That's the important part for me. This part's going to fail, but that's a good thing. Because I have a feeling that, like, then why am I a content creator? So, like, I'm a developer advocate, for one. A part of my job is creating some level of content. And on the professional side, I do all the tropes. I do the 8-minute videos. I do the, like, having my content in that area be a thing. But more than anything, like, I like talking to people. The content that I create is usually for a greater thing. Like, I'm doing this because I've got a conference next week and I need to make sure I'm able to talk about this with some relative level of intelligence. Oh, shoot. Perfect example of this is because, like, syntax error near this. Really? Let's see. Okay, we deleted 3 objects. So select star from. Yeah, I mean, really. I wouldn't even say self-confidence. Like, I've been doing it long enough. Like, I've been podcasting long enough. I've been podcasting for like a decade now that I'm just, it's more for productivity. It is, yes, using YouTube as a productivity tool. Got it. You're right there. Perfect. Nail on the head. The other side of that is now, as I'm working on a project like this, where I can take the content that I'm posting to YouTube, transcribe it, and then use it to help inform myself in the future. I don't mind helping others. Like, if others find my stuff and see it, like, great, that's awesome. But, like, I have too many friends that are all about that algorithm, all about pleasing the algorithm. And, like, they seem more stressed than I am. So I'm very much like, I don't want that stress in my life. That just ain't me. But I love the idea of, like, using YouTube as a productivity tool. It's a thing that I learned about myself a long time ago, that, like, I can just dump all that in and go with it. Although I see a problem here, because if I have a chunk size, then this needs to be this. So I just got to do another if chunk size again. If chunk size, do these things. Else is I make enough money. Like, I mean, sure, I could always make more money, but making non-niche videos in my free time would mean I don't get to go to baseball games with my kid or my wife, or it means I'm always thinking about work and not living. I mean, not to be super like hippy dippy with it, but like that is like, I don't know how to say, like, I am content with the lifestyle that I live and don't wish to like complicate it beyond where I am, you know? Okay, so wait, zip in bed. If I do zip in bed docs, I don't think I gotta do that. Yeah. Money ain't it. Like, I'm a staff level developer advocate working at a tech company and based out of Europe. Like, I speak on stages all the time. I'm active in my community. I'm active in the developer community. I'm doing the thing, you know. I'm living the dream, as they say. If I wanted to unzip those docs, though. Yeah, because I did for text, because text is all one thing now. That's the problem here. Is this needs to be, entries needs to be content ID. It needs to be docs 0 and embed docs 0. Growing and gaining fame that will build a community around you. Will be very happy and proud to have it always have an audience. I kind of have that. Like, not to... I founded this small Discord channel, this small Discord server called Black Python Devs. We've got... Oh, they got stuff happening. It's like 1,000 people, over 1,000 people in here. I get to talk to them a lot. I get to do all that stuff. I get to have people sponsor it, and then we donate money to conferences all over the world, in the US and Africa, South America. Like, gaining fame sucks. I have a friend that like worded this very perfectly. Like, there's a level of fame that you get. Like, you want to, people knowing who you are, all it does is make problems for you. Perfect example. Perfect freaking example. Like, quite literally, the last blog post that I put out, I'm winning in life, basically. Wow, like, fam, like, thank you for giving me the context. I do actually feel like I am doing a pretty good job at life, but this is what being popular, having any level of popularity causes. I delete my Twitter account, and then someone literally takes my face, takes my old Twitter handle, and then uses it to pimp crypto. Even takes my old tweets, signs up for, you know, whatever, I forgot what they call it, X Plus, X Pro, or whatever. And like, straight does the thing, and there's nothing I can do about it. So yes, having some level of fame, while good, also even the smallest moniker of fame, like 4,000 followers on Twitter, being a keynote speaker, actually having a brand, like, all that has gotten me is someone basically stealing my virtual identity and using it to pump crypto. Like, that's, so after that, nah, I'm good. I'm kind of ready to just lay low for a little bit. I know that's not from YouTube, but like, you see it all the time. You have people who are just like Marquez Brownlee could never delete any of his social media accounts because, and people would immediately jump on it and just start like hawking it. So I'm just like, I thought I was under the radar enough that like people didn't care who I was, but apparently that's not the case. Okay, sequence item, expected string instance, but integer was found. Okay, so that's an interesting one. Content item ID is an integer. Chunk size is an integer. Content is a string. Embed docs gave me a what? Appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Why did it give me a float of floats? Like I know what it's supposed to give me just one float of these. Yeah, it still did the thing. Okay. Ah, join entries. This is why. This is why. This is why. This just needs to be entries. Entries. My neighbors are like getting their like roof replaced. It's pretty wild. It's cool watching it though. So values. So this is gonna be like what, S, S, and S. S, S, S. We get rid of the F string. All right, all right. So if we do that, we have those values, and then after that, we pass in our values, and that's entries. And entries is a tuple. Yeah. And then here we do the same thing that we were doing before. It's oh, how does that work? How does that work? That's fine. Let's just test. Let's test a local instance first. Yeah, because I think what it is I think we just do this, and we pass that list in, or do we just do like that? I have a feeling that's not legal. I feel like that's breaking a rule. A tuple comprehension? Is that a thing? All right, cool. So let's see what we got. We got select all from quote embeddings. We got one quote. We got embedded. The snippet is wrong. The snippet still shows just one object. That's a problem. Oh, it's because I did docs equals, yeah, docs is not docs 0, it's just this. I don't know if y'all can hear the music or not. So I'm just over here vibing with like in my own ears. No, I got that music down super low. There we go. Yeah, there we go. See? So now I have all that content like just sitting in there. I have it in markdown format too, which is kind of nice. Because then when I produce it back out, I can just strip the markdown. So this is clean. The one thing I worry about with this though, that's going to be a problem is are quotes going to get cut off because of markdown? So maybe what I do I think what I do is add the I think we just run with it. I think we just whatever. Cool. All right, so I need to, what's the easy way to just delete empty? Oh, just delete from. That's what it is. Yep. Cool. So let's say delete from content source. Oh, from quote embeddings. Content source. No. Content item. There we go. Oh. Okay, cool. All right, so we have that now, which is great. Now I need to test it on blog. So let's find a blog post. Yeah, that's a thing. Content. Sure, let's go with that one. All right, so let's try this again. Python API content. It always does the. I need to say blog. Chunk size is 512. Okay, so there we go. Object of type generator has no length. That's interesting. Okay. Okay. For text embedding and zip embed docs, that makes a generator. The entries tuple formatting looks incorrect, especially with the curly braces syntax. Yes. Generated embeddings, chunk size. We need to insert multiple rows. Really? Can I insert them into multiple? Yeah, see, this is what I thought. Insert into quote embeddings, values, ... and then entries. You just gotta make it a list? Oh, it's just a list of, okay, so it's just a list. Like, I love how it was like I'm telling you, like AI just be wildin', y'all. I asked it to like look at that error, and it was telling me it like completely rewrote how we do this, when the answer was, this is just a list. Like, just make it a list. And I'm not saying that's exactly the solution, but okay. Unhashable type list. Where are we? The curly braces are causing Python to create sets, but lists like your embeddings are not hashable and can't be put in sets. What do we do? Oh shoot, yeah, I sure did. Okay, we're just gonna let that run. Hope it doesn't yell. Oh, the query has 3 placeholders, but 8 parameters were passed. The thing that I'm doing here is slightly off. Like, I'm guessing that with the 8 parameter, it's structured wrong. Use execute mini for batch inserts. Execute mini insert into embeddings. Interesting. Okay. I'm a little... So like if that works, then we're cool. If that doesn't work, then... Oh, that worked. Okay, cool. So now we have quote embeddings. We got a bunch of quote embeddings. They all have the same content ID. That's great. Boom. Aha, it has all my sources in there too. That's kind of dope. I actually kind of like that. I like having the sources because it's like, you know, what are we doing with that? Okay, so let's also add... I just want to see that if we run it, if we do execute mini and we only have one object, it's gonna, yeah. That's annoying. All right, so Yeah, we gotta wind up just doing it all in the separates. All right, not a fan, but it is what it is. It's better to just have that one thing copied twice than yeah, that doc's content. Cool. All right. So we got those. And that tells us that transcripts are automatically going to work. Now we just need to load everything. But it is lunchtime. We got, actually, I think we did it. I think we're done here. Like, almost done. We're like close to done. Like, we have all the content. We have different forms of content loaded. We had to opt to make it a little bit shorter just because it, you know, unfortunately did some goofiness there. Wait, delete from content item. Yes. Delete from quote embeddings. Oh. Oh, because it cascades. Yep, it cascades. So if I just delete from content item, it'll delete the other ones. Cool. The only thing I need to do now is I need to load all of the content in. And then I need to build the interface for all of that. So the transcripts are easy because we already have all the transcripts and I already have the thing for that. Basically, I can iterdir or I guess I can glob content and just match for the pattern of a markdown document. And then the same for a microblog, I can just iterdir it. All right, so cool. Let's do this. This is what we're gonna do. I like this. The next thing we're gonna add to this is we have create item and we're gonna do like bulk load. Even though I should only have to bulk load once, like and we're gonna do file path. Nah, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna script it out. Because honestly, we don't need to do it more than once. So I guess I could do like a, no, because I don't have to have it like walk everything. Yeah, let's just do this. Okay, so we're gonna say app command, and we're gonna say bulk microblog because that one's easy. And what we want to do is we want to bump all of this into its own function. This is going to be def create item. Same thing. File path, path lib, path, source. I don't know why I just didn't like copy that again, but oh well, we're lazy. We did it again. Then for this create item, because it already exists, we're gonna say import item. This one's gonna be name item, like that. And we're just gonna return, we're just gonna call create item. Yeah. Create item, file path equals file path. Easy day. And then for bulk microblog, we're gonna do, for microblog, we're gonna set source is equal to source.microblog, and then we're gonna say create for entry in microblog path iter create item. All right, so we want to add more logging in again. We're gonna set all of these to info. Where's this one here? I'm guessing half of this stuff doesn't work correctly, but let's add these. Done. Like that. Boom, boom. Let's go there. Else. So I want to say. Cool. We've added those. Now we just need. I remember why I turned the volume all the way down, because there's some people who want to like work with me while listening to their own music. So I'll turn it back down now. I was bumping earlier. I was vibing earlier, so like that was important. Cool. Interesting. Interesting. All right. All right, so there for micro iter we do create item, file path is equal to entry. I think I have to do absolute, right? Just to make sure I don't like jack up the path. And then source is equal to. Oh, source is equal to source. Yeah, there we go, like that. Yeah, that's fine. And I mean, this part is almost the same for all of these. Test run, let's go. Boom. So now if we do Python API. Oh, we're not in there. Let's do this actually. We're gonna do. It's gonna make it a little bit verbose, but that's fine. We'll say adding entry Oh, I don't have microblog path in here yet. Microblog path, there we go. That is going to be a pathlib path. And I could better optimize that because it has to be a directory, but that's fine. So let's see. Let's Z multi. Yep. PVA, Python, API. Yep. Invalid syntax. Perhaps I forgot a comma. Yep. Missing command, which is fine. We did that on purpose. We want to go help. We should see 2. So if we say yep. Okay, so that's gonna run now. That's doing its thing. That's so clean though. That's nice. So this is gonna be, because we want this to be just blog.glob star.md, because we don't want all of them. Blog path glob, and then we want blog path. Boom, look at that. This is funny because all these have are dates in the thing. I think this could make me want to start adding more tags and stuff in, because I think that's going to be the big one, is that when I start adding tags, I'll be like, because then I can do search for tags of certain things. That's cool though. That's so dope. Like I said, I mean, it doesn't. Gulf of Mexico forever. That's funny. That's funny. That just like popped up randomly. Gulf of Mexico forever. Like I said, I know a lot of these are smaller posts. But this is like this is effectively like indexing my entire like Mastodon role, minus a few things, which is fine. We don't need that there. Yeah, I mean that's the same, right? And then the thing that I gotta figure out now is how do I get those YouTube videos? And that's like, I sincerely tried. I sat up here and I was like, I'm gonna get these YouTube videos, and they did not go. They did not go. So a part of me wonders, and I might just need to think about it, like, if we're saying the video's got to be transcribed and then loaded locally, that's fine. The real challenge then, I should have recorded this, because I'm streaming it, but I should have also recorded it locally, because now I'm going to have to let it finish processing it and download it. Whereas if I had just recorded it locally, then I could just immediately transcribe it and load it up. So luckily we have the whisper thing already. I'm not too worried about that. We can convert, we just use FFmpeg to convert MP4 to MP3. That's process. What I'm thinking is, how do I update my blog so that any changes in new content, pre-commit? No, not pre-commit. You don't want to pre-commit. You want post-commit? So wait, I have my blog. Yeah, like post-commit. The only problem with that is every version of it would be different if I needed to go make an update. So yeah, I think this is just a manual. It's a manual task. And then I know we can, I'm always in the process of figuring out how to cache like state and place. All right. So the solution thus far. Okay, cool. Shoot, I like blanked out for a second. I completely blanked out. I'm always on this like caching thing. I think the reality is, at the moment, I don't have a solid way of, but I think that I could. I think what we would have is we would have a cache here that looks at record of all the files that we have and what files we don't have, and then just diffs them. There's also always the like created since that I'm like, whatever. Shoot. Oh, it's like, why's my keyboard not working? Blog, and then we're gonna do, oh yeah, I still need to do the oh, I did the absolute right content right. I'm very confused. Am I like... Is my brain broken? Content is at that level. That's what I thought. That's what it is. Okay. Can't open file. Oh yeah, that makes sense. There it goes. All right, so there's that. We've done 2, and then we already know how to do... The transcripts are going to be the same way. We just need to change. We just need to like basically copy this. It's actually the other one. It's actually iterdeer. So it's like... Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same as... Now, the thing that I get added to this is that I can do all of these. And then we'll start seeing more and more. Yeah, so you start seeing all those. And then can I do a JSON table from this field and go, okay, so let's see. And if I fall and don't come back. Okay, it says creates those, verify the containers up and running, connect to your database. Yeah. So if I say select JT star from content items, JSON table, content item meta, as JT. Oh, no. Don't tell me we did this again. Not this crap again. Hold on. Version. Why can I never remember the command for showing version? Select version, that's what it was. And version is a function. This is the problem. This is the problem, okay? So here's what we... Can I upgrade it directly? I'm gonna upgrade it using Chrome, because using this. All right. All right, y'all. That's going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Y'all been great. Have an excellent day.